Sure.
First of all, I want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you,
Yep.
and just enhancing my own view on this matter. So I read your article that you talk about the Michigan protest in April, and I've seen a lot of different how it looks in the media, how it is portrayed by some people who were there.
Mhm.
But I want to ask these questions: is the fact that this protest and these protesters are like handling guns, does it distort the message um, and the democratic rights that our people are exercising? Does it distort that, and does it make it seem that there are two different messages that are kind of being posed at these types of protests?
Yeah, I mean, when I wrote that article, my initial question is, I understand why you're angry and I understand why you're protesting, but why the guns? Like what
Hmm.
I think my initial question is what do the guns do to enhance your position, right? And I guess they wanted to, really underline their anger and you let them know. And from my point of view, as as a philosopher, that is a sign of impotence and desperation, right? You need to wave a gun in someone's face to let them know, you know, how angry you are. I mean,
Hmm.
that seems crazy in a way. And yes, I have, I wrote a book on the topic 5 years ago, and I've been arguing that I think, you know, the right to own guns is one thing. Okay.
Hmm.
That may have some issues, but that's not what I'm attacking. What I'm critical of is the intrusion and growing presence of guns in the public realm. And in the Trump presidency, the last few years, we've really seen this ramping up. Protesters marching with firearms, in many cases, assault rifles.
Hmm.
Um, During the Obama presidency, you saw a couple, rare incidences of this, but it's really become more common now.
Hmm.
And it's very upsetting, I think, because those kinds of, in many cases, you've had, like in Texas about 2 or 3 years ago, they were protesting for open carry, and as they were protesting for open carry, they were marching with their guns. So, but still, like, you know these protesters, they send the guns speak, guns send a message. And what,
Hmm.
and they're not inviting to speech. And I wrote for a long time, I said, having these guns in the public sphere undermines assembly too, because it undermines the public safety. And the police are always looking for an excuse to disband assemblies. And sure enough, last summer during the Black Lives Matter protests in the States, we had two incidents where guns were used in these protests, and with fatal outcomes. So I think it's very counterproductive to democracy that these are in the public realm.